equalizer, new plugin in DP8. Now we're going to move on to our synthesizer bass. All right, this is just a monophonic Korg synthesizer, actually microphone in front of the amplifier. Fairly boring sound, it's mono, but let's make that a bit more interesting with our ensemble chorus. Now this is a sophisticated dual channel chorus. If you notice, I can link the left and right parameters or have them run independent, control which type of waveforms I'm using for the modulation, phase, symmetry, rate. So a sophisticated new chorus. This is the ensemble chorus. In this mix, we're also running an electric bass guitar. This bass guitar was recorded direct. So let's put this bass player into a room, playing through a cabinet. This is Live Room B. These are convolution models of bass speaker cabinets, microphones, and the ambient environment. Choose a few presets here. All right, 4 10-inch speakers, dynamic mic, condenser microphone, distance microphones, control over the volume, the pan, the tone. You've got pre-delay controls so we can vary the distance of the microphone to the cabinet. We can even split these microphone signals off on separate outputs so they can be processed independently in DP. All right, now let's try a single 18 speaker. There's that sub-kick microphone, a dynamic mic, and a distance condenser mic. Let's go with the SVT. Right, 8 10-inch speakers, fridge. And the last model I'll show you here is the single 15-inch speaker. I don't know if you're going to hear it in here, but listen for some ambience, almost like reverb on the bass. I can hear it. Can you hear it? All right. Now, the reason you're hearing that is because we've got these distance microphones nice and cranked up in the little mixer over here. But we can change the room size. Let's put that bass guitar into a smaller room. So you dial in exactly the tone that you like. All right, so I've got my bass guitar, my synthesizer bass, I got my drum set all up and running, and I think it's time to give the guitar player some. Let me collapse my mixing board here. I need some real estate, you'll see why. So Dave, I hear you playing the guitar there? All right, let's follow the plumbing. Guitar, patch cord, we've got a MOTU Z-Box impedance adapter that's going into my 896 audio interface. The signal is then going up through digital performer, back out the audio interface to the speakers. So David is playing through digital performer. I do the same thing. I play in a band and I'm playing keyboards and guitar. My keyboard sounds are coming off of my laptop computer. All of my guitar processing is being done inside the computer by digital performer. So let's take a look at some of that processing. Dave is playing through a physical model of a Vox AC30 amplifier. Let's push up that input gain a little bit. You hear the tubes starting to crunch. Dial back on the presence a little bit. Nice tremolo. Warm it up a little bit. Now, what physical modeling means is we took the original circuit diagrams and the actual original hardware, and we made software models of this hardware. So even down to the modern or the vintage tone stack, there's been two generations of the tone circuit in the Vox AC30, and we've modeled both of them. Now, you can't have an amplifier without a speaker cabinet. So now we're bringing in Live Stage. And this is a smaller version of our Live Room G. The purpose of Live Stage is single microphone cabinet emulation. And let's go down and check out a single 8-inch speaker. We can change the microphone positions. Get a little bit of ambience there. Again, it's a convolution model. You can change the size of the room. Let's go for our Vox AC30 212 cabinet. Off-center microphone position. And I know what you really like is that 412 closed-back cabinet. All right, so we got our amplifier, we got our speaker cabinet. But that's not the only amp we have. Here is a physical model of the Mason Boogie dual rectifier. Let's check this out. Turn the Vox off, turn on the Pro Soloist. It's a 3-channel amp. The orange amp is clean. work with. We've got our live stage speaker cabinets. Now after the amplifier, we're going to bring in, how about some springs? This is Springamabab, and this is a convolution model of reverb tanks, spring-based reverb tanks. So 3 short strings. 3 long strings. 2 long strings. All right, so now we've got that classic spring reverb sound. I'm still talking to the engineers trying to get a MIDI input on this thing, so you send it a signal, you get that big boing sound when you kick the reverb tank. You might be able to squeeze that in. All right, now here's a cool plugin. This is a physical model of the Dallas Rangemaster. If you know what a Dallas Rangemaster is, you're old. The Dallas Rangemaster was a pedal that was developed in the late 1960s when there was like 3 or 4 companies that made guitar pedals. This pedal made Eric Clapton famous. No, I mean, Eric Clapton made the Dallas Rangemaster famous. This is a lead switch, the high top booster. What those guys were looking for, those old rock stars, they were looking to push their amplifier. They wanted a preamp into the amplifier, and the high top booster gave them that preamp with an edge on top, and so there's your lead switch. And we're going to follow that with this very cool plugin. This is a physical model of the MXR Dynacomp. We call it the Dyna Squash Infinity Compressor. Sustain note. Go out, have a bite, come back to eat. You're still going. All right, and you know these pedals originally used 9-volt batteries. They were really noisy. Now, no noise, no 9-volt batteries. So if you want to use the Dyna Squash on your vocal track or your snare drum track, now you have another flavor of compressor. Very cool compressor. All right, now we're going to get into some of the modulation effects. This is a model of the MXR Phase 90. There's the stun setting. There's the kill setting. Now, if you're really an aficionado of these types of pedals, then you've probably also heard of the Electro-Harmonix Small Stone. All right, what's the difference between these 2 phase shifters? Well, if you're a fan of Steely Dan, you've listened to Donald Fagen. He's using the MXR phase shifter on his Fender Rhodes, pretty classic sound. Or maybe you're more of a fan of Keith Richards and the Some Girls record, and here's our Clear Pebble. 2 classic phase shifters. Remember now, we got 15 new plugins in DP8. We've been busy. There's another new plugin. This is the analog delay. Hear the pitch shift when I move the delay time control? Just like the original. Bring up the repeat control. With your Electro-Harmonix memory man, checking it out. Even right down to this little switch. With the range switch there. So there's our analog delay. And one more plugin to show you, the analog flanger. And this is a physical model of the Electro-Harmonix electric mistress. So we're going to make a little bit of music here, and what we're going to do is we're going to play the backing track, and we've got these effects automated. So as we play through the piece of music that you're about to hear, you're going to see the effects turning on and off, so you'll be able to hear exactly what they do. And let's put them into a musical context. Let's make sure I'm not soloed up like I did last time. That helps. So we're going to start off with the Vox AC30 going through the live stage cabinet emulation. And then the next effects that are going to come in are going to be the high top booster and the Springamabab. You'll hear it. we have one more thing to show you in today's demonstration. This being the first day of NAMM, you probably haven't gone online and read all the blogs, so it's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you Digital Performer running on Windows.
Nathan, there'll be time for you to deal emotionally with all of this, but right now you have to get your shit together. Who are you, really?
Full screen video?
I'm one of your keepers, Nathan. I'm put in place to look after you, just like Mara and Kevin were. They died protecting you.
This is crazy! Call the police or something!
I already tried. I dialed 911 back to
It's
the
identical on
hospital.
Macintosh and Windows.
From the CIA. Frank Burton. I worked for him. I did. Can't be trusted. There were only 4 of us who knew your identity. Mara, Kevin, me, and her. 2 of us are dead.
So there you go. All right, let's talk about this a little bit. I'll tell you what you're looking at. Get to my next screen here. Digital Performer running on Windows 7. And I would like to thank Hewlett-Packard. They've lent us the HP Z800 computer for doing our demo today. We have Digital Performer running on Macintosh and Windows at our satellite stations if you'd like to take a look at them. We do recommend Hewlett-Packard computers. Thank you very much, guys. Oh, that video clip, by the way, was scored by Ed Shermer. That's a feature film called Abduction. Thank you, Ed. DP8 for Windows, 32-bit and 64-bit. Same on Macintosh, 32 and 64. The program is identical on both platforms. On Windows, support for VST and Rewire, of course. And DP8 will ship for Mac and Windows in the same box. Spring 2012. Really any day, because you see me doing the demonstration on Windows, on Macintosh. Ladies and gentlemen, Digital Performer 8, our flagship audio MIDI sequencing software on Macintosh and Windows. We're going to do another demonstration in about half an hour or so. Hope you come back for that. If you've got questions, see our technicians at the satellite stations. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.